Hello, everybody. I'm very pleased to provide some extraordinary news today. We received word from the United States Supreme Court that the Supreme Court has chosen to hear two cases of the law office of Keith Altman and partners. One is Gonzales versus Google. The other one is Tamnay versus Google, Facebook, and Twitter. Both of these cases are involving terrorism attacks. The Gonzales case was the Paris nightclub attack of November of 2015. The Tamnay is the Istanbul nightclub bombing of January 1st, 2017. These matters were both perpetrated by ISIS and were done with the support of Google, Facebook, and Twitter. The importance of these cases is that Gonzales implicates something called the Communications Decency Act, Section 230. Section 230 has been used by social media companies as a shield to insulate them from liability for virtually anything that takes place on their websites, no matter what they do. Section 230 was originally intended to help foster the development of the internet by protecting internet service providers from liability for postings of other individuals. Times have changed since then. These companies have thrived. They are now some of the largest companies in the world, and protecting individuals from the misuse of these social media platforms with the knowledge of these companies is something that will hold them reasonably accountable, just like everybody, just like you, just like me. The Tamnay case is more about what do you need to prove in order to bring a case under the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, which was enacted by the United States back in 2016. And the purpose of the act was to provide the broadest possible basis of recovery for terrorism victims consistent with the United States Constitution and nothing else. These are very important cases because as these social media companies have continued to allow terrorist organizations to use their sites to recruit, radicalize, and raise money, it imperils all of us, both internationally and domestically, such as the San Bernardino massacre or the Pulse nightclub attack, both of which have social media terrorism connections. We are very excited to have been fighting this battle for the last more than 6 years. We filed the Gonzales case in June of 2016. We filed the Istanbul nightclub bombing case a couple of years later. Both of these cases have been before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals of the United States. There are several others that are waiting in the wings to see what happens from the Supreme Court. And this is a very exciting time for the firm, but more importantly, it's a very important time for the American public because it's crucial that these companies be held accountable to act reasonably, just like everybody else. They should not have a free pass to allow anything to take place on their platforms and simply count the money. And in fact, YouTube will actually share revenue with terrorist organizations that provide content so long as there's advertising. And you heard me correctly. Google will actually pay terrorists for posting content on YouTube. That is simply thoroughly unacceptable. So anyway, this is a great day for the American public. We expect a briefing to take place over this fall, and we're hopeful that there will be argument in February of next year, and that the Supreme Court will see that there is reasonable accountability on the part of these organizations. Thank you for taking the time to listen.